Well, the general election is coming up, folks. November 5th is barreling at us like a freight train. If you're pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment, pro-family, pro-closed borders, pro not having your vote get watered down by criminal aliens, if you're pro-conservative America, you're going to want to watch this video. I'm Chris Dorr. I'm the director for Pennsylvania Firearms Association. In this video, I'm going to go over the two candidates, mostly the Democrat incumbent here, really quickly, and where they are when it comes to your gun rights. There is so much on the line, and particularly with House District 118, this is a very important race because whichever party wins this election here, right here, is very likely the party that's going to control the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. For the last 2 years, the Democrats have controlled it. They want to keep it now. They're trying to flip the Pennsylvania Senate right now to Democrat control, so they have a Democrat trifecta. And that's just a little bit concerning, especially if you're a gun owner, because the Democrats have shown very much so that they want to attack our gun rights. So let's get into it really quickly here. And first and foremost, I'm going to talk about Jim Haddock. He is the Democrat incumbent here. And I'm going to put a little I right next to his name there so you guys can remember he's the incumbent. That means he's been in there for the last 2 years. And let's get into his pro-gun or anti-gun record. First and foremost, we're gonna ask the question from the outset: Is Jim Haddock pro-gun? Well, I'm gonna give you a great big fat no. No, he is not. Right there, and I'll tell you why. The simple reason is that he's got votes on his record that very clearly show that he is opposed to the Second Amendment, and I'm talking first and foremost about this one here: red flag gun confiscation. What this bill is the total destruction of due process rights for gun owners. And again, we're talking about Jim Haddock here, the Democrat incumbent. He voted for this bill on the House floor, and this bill makes it so that anyone can petition a judge to have your guns taken away from you without you ever being charged, tried, or convicted of a crime. Total destruction of due process rights. And here's the thing: at the hearings where you're not even allowed to be there, they call them ex parte hearings, the person trying to get the order against somebody else can enter as evidence the fact that the person they're trying to disarm just acquired a firearm. Literally, Jim Haddock voted so that if you've recently exercised your Second Amendment freedoms, that's justification to take them away. It's absolutely insane. So he voted for that. Jim Haddock voted to destroy due process rights with red flag gun confiscation. He also voted for universal gun registration. The Democrats all across the board now, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Beto O'Rourke was very famous back when the Democrats used to still hold primaries to select the Democrat nominee for president. He said right there on the national debate stage, hell yes, we're going to take your guns. The only way they can take your guns away from you is if they know who owns what guns. That's what Jim Haddock's universal gun registration bill is all about. It gives the state the power to know who owns what guns and track, trace, and register them like they're a bunch of sex offenders. He voted for that. Jim Haddock voted for universal gun registration, and that's a great big fat problem if you love the Second Amendment. Jim Haddock also supports a ban on AR-15s. Not only that, he wants to ban semi-automatic firearms entirely. We're talking about Ruger 1022s, Remington 1187 shotguns. I mean, this is what Jim Haddock wants to pass. The bill almost made it onto the House floor this year. Pardon me. He supports that in its entirety, and it's absolutely preposterous. He supports the entire Kamala Harris agenda to disarm and ban AR-15s. And quite frankly, just as a reminder, AR-15s, the Second Amendment, this is about, it's not about deer hunting. It's about we the people maintaining freedom against a government that could become tyrannical. Jim Haddock wants to totally get rid of that, and he supports a ban on semi-automatic firearms. He also supports both of these, mandatory gun lockups and mandatory gun buybacks. The gun lockups, Kamala Harris just got outed for this a couple of days ago. She was caught on video saying that, they call them safe storage laws. Safe storage laws. The very foundation of safe storage laws is that in order to enforce it, it allows government actors to, quote, invade the sanctity of your home. That's Kamala Harris's words, not mine. and inspect your firearms to make sure they are being stored in compliance with the government laws. Okay, and this is the same. This is the same party that left $8 billion worth of weapons of war on the streets of Afghanistan and sold machine guns to the Mexican drug cartels that were then used against American citizens and Border Patrol agents. But yet they want government gun inspections to let state inspectors into your home to see if you are storing your guns in a way that they deem fit. Absolutely preposterous. Jim Haddock supports all of it. He supports mandatory gun buybacks. This is gun confiscation at the end of a barrel of a gun, one where they use your tax dollars to legitimize their tyranny. Mandatory gun buybacks are not voluntary. It's them knocking on your door saying, here's a check for, I've seen some of the dollar amounts included with this stuff. They want to give you like $200 for a rifle. They want to give you $100 for a pistol. That's what they want to do to legitimize their theft and their tyranny through mandatory gun buybacks. That's gun confiscation. Jim Haddock supports all of these things. So when you add this, and this all together, that's what that means right there. Okay. It's a great big fat no. He absolutely does not support the Second Amendment, and he's got the voting record and support record to show that. So I'm going to switch over to McKayla Kathio here really quickly. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know how to answer this question because she doesn't have any issues listed on her campaign website and materials in support of the Second Amendment. So she did not return our candidate questionnaire. I don't know where she stands on these things. I do know that if the Republicans get the majority, they will likely control the committee process, which is where all the gun control bills need to go. So theoretically, a vote for McKayla Kathio would also increase the likelihood of Republicans not bringing gun control to the floor of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. And that, in and of itself, gun control bills not making it to the floor, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Don't forget, Jim Haddock here, he voted for Joanna McClinton, okay? He voted for Joanna McClinton as the Speaker of the House. She's the one who brought this bill and this bill to the House floor and had votes on them. So if Republicans control that process, chances of those bills ever making it to the floor fall dramatically. So here's a couple of homework items for you. If you see Jim Haddock on the campaign trail, tell him that this gun control just doesn't fly in Luzerne County. This is Pennsylvania in America. This is not England. This is not 1940s Britain or 1940s Germany or Japan or Italy or some place like that. This is the birthplace of freedom. Okay, and the Second Amendment is the one freedom that protects all of the others. Keep in mind, all of this gun control that Jim Haddock voted for here, it won't stop a single killer. It never has. It never will. Killers commit their evil acts. Every single action that they take in the commission of that crime is already against the law. They're motivated by the evil in their hearts, and no law is going to change that. Okay, so none of his gun control is going to ever stop those kinds of things from happening. To get to that, you need to take a look at the causal factors within a culture to figure out what's going on there. And none of this gun control works. If Jim Haddock's views on public safety worked, honestly, people would go for summer vacations in Chicago because they already have every single one of these gun control laws on the books. And that place is a war zone every night that it's above 70 degrees out. So that's where they are. Jim Haddock, you know what? Let's give him a rating here. Let's give him a rating. Let's draw a great big F. And there, that's the rating that Jim Haddock has earned for himself. When it comes to McKayla Kathio, we don't know where she stands. We would encourage you guys, if you see her out on the campaign trail, reach out to her and ask her where she is on the Second Amendment. Folks, that's what we've got for you. If I'd ask you guys to share this video with your pro-gun friends, family, loved one, neighbors, co-workers, church family. And then on November 5th, head down to the polls and vote pro-gun.